What's up, YouTube? We back with another one, episode 12. I'm hitting y'all with another banger, so make sure y'all got y'all seatbelts fastened up for this one. Anyway, I gotta ask you guys, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. That's very, very important. Regular Guyz.Eregular Cars on YouTube and regular Guyz.Eregular Cars on Instagram. Make sure you follow us. When you follow, you're going to get a sneak peek of the up and coming episodes. So definitely follow on Instagram and then also subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video too, guys, and leave a comment. That being said, we're going to get right to it. I'm going to introduce y'all to the man of the hour, and when you see his car, you're going to be like, damn, he went all the way in. But anyway, I'm not going to talk your heads off. We're going to get right to it. My God. Everything good?
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you having me here.
It's my pleasure.
Of course.
Definitely. So, listen, I gotta ask you to let the people know what's your name, what city, and what state you represent. And if you're down with the team, let them know that as well.
Of course. So I represent Speed Gravity from New Jersey. My name's Mike. I was born and raised in Jersey City, and yeah, pretty much I've been living here my whole life. Through all the changes.
Through all the changes, yep. There's been a lot of changes too.
Oh yeah. You wouldn't even recognize it if it was like 10, 15 years ago. Like Facts. It was crazy.
Facts. Total makeover.
So I'm rocking a 2010 BMW 535 Xi. Pretty standard 6-cylinder, twin turbo. You know, your basic BMW over-engineered products.
I like the fact that you said you're basic, but they'll see that it's nothing really too basic about it. But I got what you're saying, definitely.
Exactly.
So before we even show the car, though, I gotta ask you, what do you do? Because this whole channel is based on regular guys, right?
Yeah.
Regular guys with irregular cars. So all our people, all our viewers, all our subscribers, they want to watch to see, you know, what they can do with their cars as well, or if they could even get into this game. So it's important you let them know like what you do for a living so they could understand that it's very doable.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't do anything hard. I work at the airport out here in Teterboro. I started in aviation probably about 5 years ago, honestly. I went to school to be a mechanic. I'm still testing to become a mechanic. I'm halfway there, but you know, little steps. But for the money, I work for a specific company. It's called Hexogon Aviation. Yeah, we basically, sorry.
That's all right.
So my title is a ground coordinator. I basically show up, I greet the passengers, make sure they have everything they need. You know, basically catering to the 1%. These people are flying private. They expect a private lifestyle type of deal. So they want to make sure they got the drinks on deck. They want to make sure they got the food ready. They want to make sure everything's all set. Wow. My job is just to make sure that the crew is ready. The crew is good. The crew has the food that they need. They have the fuel that they need to fly where they gotta go. I gotta make sure the passengers are all set. Do they need any extra amenities? Do I gotta go pick something up? Right. Is there a special request they need when they get down there? Right. You know, basically just making sure everything's all copacetic. So they're comfortable from wheels down to wheels up and back down again.
Sheesh. I tell you, that's an irregular job though, for real. That's dope. That's dope.
I mean, it's not too bad. It's basically being like kind of like a doorman at a building. You just kind of show up, greet them, make sure they're all good. If they don't even need anything, sometimes I'm just getting paid to sit around.
Dope. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
So what made you pick this particular car to customize?
I don't know if you've noticed, but I've never seen another 535 wagon. I mean, I do, but it's so rare that when I come across another one, it's just like, hey, that guy's got the same car.
That's true.
I mean, back in high school, I had a 2007 BMW 328, and it was the base model. It was the regular four-door sedan, and everybody had it. And I was just like, I don't really want this.
Right.
Like, you know, I totaled it, and it was somebody sideswiped me and the car was finished. So I was like, you know what? let me figure out something else. Like, let me get a different car, something that stands out, something that, like, if you saw the car, whether it was modified or not, you'd know it was me. So I went with the wagon, and it was super hard to find. Originally, I started looking for one of these back in like 2013, 2014.
Okay.
But I wasn't even able to get one until 2019.
Oh wow, it took a couple years.
Yeah, the closest one I was able to find was all the way in Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah, aside from that, like, I guess like a lot of people were starting to sell their older cars, so I was like, you know what? Even though it's got a little bit of high mileage on it, this is definitely a car that I want to work on, whether it gives me problems or not. And it's definitely given me quite a bit of problems. So
really?
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll get into that part. But the fact that you picked this car to customize because it was different, because it was irregular, makes you a perfect fit for the channel. Everything about you is irregular. The job you do is irregular. The car you picked, the reason why it was irregular, and then when they see the car, they're gonna say, "Damn, that's not regular for real." With that being said, you ready to show the car?
Absolutely.
Let's show the car, guys. Sheesh. Yikes. This is something different right there. Wow. This is different. This is irregular, guys. Y'all getting irregular footage right here. Know that. This is a beauty. So, what you got going on exterior-wise? Wherever you want to start.
So, for the exterior, literally day one, I started. First thing I did was get rid of the old tints. The old tints were too light. I could still see in it. It looked like a fishbowl.
Okay.
So I peeled off the old tint, took a razor blade, just kept hammering at it until everything was off. Retinted it. So I have 20 in the front, 30 in the front, 20 in the back, and then 50 on the front windshield.
Gotcha.
Aside from that, next was the bumper that I have on. This was for an M5.
Really?
Yeah. Unfortunately, parking in Jersey City has its downsides.
Yes.
So somebody hit me. I'm still waiting to get the insurance check for that. So
okay.
Yeah, we're working with it, and we're gonna be putting a different bumper on, something that I don't think any 5 Series has on it so far.
Really?
Especially the wagon.
Okay. Can't wait to see that.
The front lip it came with the bumper.
Nice.
Definitely lowers the car a few inches.
Yes, I see that. You like literally an inch from the ground, are you? Or less than that. Sheesh. That's crazy.
And obviously the elephant in the room is the wrap.
Yes, the wrap.
The wrap was done by a friend of mine, NJ Vinyl Co. He took an insane amount of like detail into what he did.
Right.
He got into deep crevices that I wouldn't be able to see.
Really?
It did take him a while, but only because he is perfecting his craft.
How long did it take?
It took him about, realistically, it would have taken him a week. We had a little bit of an issue with the supplier for the chrome side.
Okay.
But aside from that, it just took him about a week to do it.
Okay, that's not bad. What made you go with the two different looks, two-tone type of?
So back in high school, I always saw the tuxedo cars where you got black on the top, white on the bottom, or reverse. And I thought, what would be more different than to do it straight down the middle?
Nice.
Back when I was in high school, I was still like, I was still adamant on doing it to the 3 Series.
Okay.
But I didn't have the funds for it.
Right.
I was still a high school student.
Definitely.
So even then, I was looking around. I was calling some shops and seeing like how much would it be to do something like that.
Yeah.
So every time I called the shop and told them what I wanted, they said, "That's crazy. I've never heard of something like that."
They called you crazy.
Yeah.
Really? And how many years ago was this?
So, man, that was 2008, 2009.
You was like way ahead of your time.
Absolutely.
For sure, you was way ahead of your time. So they couldn't foresee.
Yeah.
They couldn't foresee.
So like my original plan was like I wanted to do black on one side, white on the other, and then for the black side I would have like white mirror caps, white door handles, white gas cap, and then vice versa on the opposite side.
Right.
And back when I was doing that, I was like, you know what? Now that I'm seeing a lot of these two-tone cars, because I know I'm not the only one. I've seen some camo ones and half matte black.
Right.
I was thinking, what would change that? What can I get out of the norm?
Right.
So the chrome blue, because my last car was chrome purple. It was it stood out.
Okay.
But also the marble side, just because like it gives it like a little bit of a class here, in my opinion.
Definitely. No, I love it. I love it. What's going on with the lights? You got some light show going on here as well?
Absolutely. This took me about 2 days to do. The fog lights and the DRL, or the daytime running lights, they're both from Dynamics.
Okay.
It would be better if it was darker, but the grill, the lower grill, and I do have Underglow. Everything matches up to the same controller. Everything basically is in sync. So if one's red, all of them are red.
Gotcha. And so it changed different colors.
Absolutely. Yep.
Nice.
So right now, yeah, I just have it on a little bit of a show mode. It just cycles through the colors and does its thing. I actually got a birthday gift. Not a birthday gift. It was a Christmas gift not too long ago. License plates. They both light up.
Wow. Even in the daytime, I do notice that. Around the lettering. That's so cool. That's irregular right there, because I never saw that before. Ever. That is so cool. I like that.
Absolutely. I got rid of the 535 emblem. I replaced it with the N54. That's just the motor.
Ah.
Yeah. So instead of saying that, I got an M badge, I'll just tell them, no, that's just the type of motor that's in the car.
That's different too. Everything, I swear. That's cool.
Yeah, the tow hook was more of like a kind of on a whim thing. It wasn't really something I was like, I gotta add this to the car. This was during that big flood a long time ago, like a couple of I would say probably a few months ago, probably last year.
Okay.
Where it rained like super heavy.
Yeah.
The tow hook washed up on the airport, and I was just like, you know what, crazy.
Serious?
Yeah. If that fit my car, I'll keep it. So I threw it on, it fit right away. I was just like, that's awesome.
Wow.
So this tag is actually, everybody thinks it comes with the shoes and everything, but realistically that's for the airplanes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Pull it up, pull the tag up one more time. Let's see what it says.
Move before flight.
So that's real from a real airplane. I love that. I love that.
They usually use it for like
fake ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's quite a car.
Thank you.
Definitely. So I'm sure you probably get that all the time. People just coming up to you asking questions. And all
Absolutely, yeah.
That.
Pretty much anywhere.
I get that. So what's this right here? This is another irregular piece I see.
So yeah, no, that's just the same license plate. I just have it. So the back one went out a while ago. They actually ended up sending me a duplicate set instead of just the one. So since I had an extra, I figured I'd throw it in the window, give it a little bit of peace. Especially with the dark tint, you can't see anything behind it.
Right.
So it just shows up just like the license plate.
It does. It shows up real bright. That's so cool. That's so cool. There's a lot of little hinted details about this car that at first view you see the wrap.
Yeah.
That's what that pulls you in. But as you explaining all this stuff, I'm like being wowed over and over again. Like it's so much detail and stuff that I didn't know right away that it's like amazing.
Oh yeah. Like I mean, even the license plate for me, it's not really a. Everybody would think like form as in like, a version of something. But realistically, if you ever Googled this, because I work in aviation and because I went to school to be a mechanic, Form 337 is a specific form that they have to use. Like if you Google it, it'll be the first link.
Okay.
It stands for major alteration and repair.
Really?
Yeah. So anytime you do something majorly that isn't designed to be on that aircraft,
right,
you have to fill out a Form 337. So
wow.
I kind of tied my personal life in with the car, and it just kind of some mechanics will see it and they'll understand right away, and other people, like even pilots, they'll look at it and just like they'll think that it's just a version.
Right.
Form 337. Yeah.
Wow, that's bananas. There's so much like intricate detail. Y'all, I hope y'all catching all of this, because the details beyond the details is what's really blowing my mind. Because it's details that detail other detail, if that makes sense. So y'all gotta catch on. Y'all might have to rewind this a couple of times. But yeah, that's crazy. That's so dope. It's all connected. What else you got going on?
Well, the wheels, they are replicas, but they are still technically BMW wheels.
Okay.
They are replicas off the BMW M8 Competition. So they look exactly like them, but they are still just reps.
Just reps. Nice.
The air suspension I got from AirTech. Everything was installed basically by me. I ran the lines inside to make sure I could use the car every day if I needed to.
Right.
So lines wouldn't freeze.
Right.
The trunk setup is a little messy, but I'm still working to get towards fixing that up, making it action show ready.
Okay. And you put the side skirts on the side as well, right?
Yeah, the side skirts, just a little arrow on it. Honestly, it's just for the aggressive look.
Yeah, it definitely stands out with that. Beautiful.
Helps me from getting too close to the curb if I need.
Exactly, because it's definitely sticks out a couple inches. But it's a beauty. It's definitely a beauty. You got anything going on interior?
Interior, all I have so far is just the trim panels.
Trim panels?
Just rewrap them so that they're Galaxy.
Oh, wow.
I have an iPad set up in the middle there so I can listen to my music.
Wow.
Basically just, pick a song, ride. On longer drives, if I have a passenger, they can watch a movie if they want. Everything.
Nice.
The center console, the main screen there, that is not actually the original head unit that comes in it.
No?
That is an Android unit that I can use to tune the car and make sure everything is running well, especially on long drives.
Nice.
It gives me oil temperature, boost, load, and air-fuel ratios, just to make sure the car is running well before something bad happens.
Right. So you'll definitely know in advance. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And the lights inside, I don't know if you can see it, it's still a little light out, but it still shines through. Any color that's on the inside is the same as the color that's on the outside when the lights are on.
I see it now. Now that I look at it, I see it on the floor a little bit. Yeah. Wow, I changed to purple. Yep, I'm catching it.
I mean, aside from looking nice on the inside, it also helps me remember like that the lights are on in case I roll past somebody that might want to give me a ticket for it.
Right. For sure. Did you touch anything audio-wise?
Audio, yeah. I would say within the first month, I found a couple of Alpine Type R 12-inch subs, and I remember always having Type R subs, and they always hit hard.
Yeah.
I mean, not as hard as you would see in like some of these shows, but like definitely it rocks the car.
Right.
And like I remember the first time I put it in the car when I had nothing in it, it was just sound. The doors would flex a little bit, the window would shake, and I was happy. I could feel it in the car. It was amazing.
Sometimes that's all you need. Once you feel that bass a little bit, it's like, I'm straight.
Absolutely.
Good. Now, because we're on YouTube, guys, Mike can't let us hear his audio or whatever, but he did say he has a little bonus for us to hear. Let's check it out.
Alright, so I do have a little bit of hidden feature on the car. Definitely not a lot of people have it. Definitely not on a car, especially as this size. You'll hear it on trucks. You hear it on trains. But instead of telling people to get out of my way the normal way, I didn't want to. They're right behind. So instead of telling people to get out of my way the normal way, I got a little button up here that'll.
Wow. Yeah, that right there will get any and everybody out of your way immediately. If they wasn't getting out your way before you told them, when they heard that, they got out the way. But let them hear it one more time, man. Why not? Yeah, guys, now y'all know what it is. When y'all hear that sound, look out for this BMW right here. How about performance? Did you touch anything performance-wise?
So performance-wise has been quite the journey.
Really?
Yeah. So
Explain.
first 2 hours of owning the car, the engine shut down.
Really?
Yeah.
First 2 hours.
First 2 hours, I picked up the car. I started driving it around. I was enjoying the day. I was heading down 17. All of a sudden, the car goes into neutral. I pull off to the side of the road. I try and start it. It won't start. Second motor, the company that supplied the motor to them gave them another high mileage motor, which the motor ended up detonating again and having another issue with the oil pump. So we had to put a third motor in it, which another high mileage motor. Yeah, so it was just one after another after another.
Wow.
After the third time, I finally bought a rebuilt full motor, just basically 0 miles on it, swapped it in, and performance took off from there. So I have, in BMW world, it's called full bolt-ons, which just means your intercooler, your downpipes, your charge pipe, basically, and blowout valve.
Okay.
So I have all of that, and I went through a couple of different tunes before I found one that I actually really like and I find reliable.
Okay.
So I started off with Cobb access port, and I ended up selling it just because I really there wasn't enough tunability for me.
Okay.
MHD had come out with a new tune, and it was still a little sketchy to me, so I went with JB4. Then we did a back-end flash, and it was kind of both integrated, and now I just have full MHD tuning, pushing about 14-15 PSI. It's comfortable, definitely gets the speed quick.
Okay.
And so far I haven't had any issues with it, and I'm hoping that stays that way.
Stays that way. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So, all right. So let me, since you did get it tuned, what would you say is the horsepower on it?
Honestly, if I took it to the dyno, it'd probably, I want to say like high 300s or low 400s. I'm not really too sure, but it definitely feels a lot quicker than what it was stock.
Wagon too.
On a wagon, exactly.
that's what makes it amazing. Wagon. That's awesome. So that being said, that leads us to the question of most expensive modification. Now you done told us you went through like 3-4 motors.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the motor cost me about $8 grand with labor.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was a little bit of a hit.
Nice.
Because of that, I kind of slowed down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But that was after the car was wrapped. That was after I put all the time and money into it already. So I was like, I want to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
I've wanted this car since I was in high school, and I want to keep it going. Like
right.
even if this car like isn't my daily car or it's not my next project, I still want to have it somewhere that I can drive it. I want to have access to it.
Definitely.
So it's definitely going to be a lifelong car that I hope to keep for a while.
Now I kind of think I know the answer to this next question, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Dealing with this car, was there anything that was a headache on it?
Oh, absolutely. Anything that had anything to do with like any sensor or electrical issue, it always ended up costing me time, costing me money.
Right.
Recently, I had trouble with the all-wheel drive system.
Okay.
So back in I want to say 2021, the end of 2021, winter was just starting. The roads were a little bit icy. My X-Drive just stopped working.
Right.
So I had only rear-wheel drive for about 3-4 months.
Wow.
I thought it was one part, it wasn't that part. I thought it was the computer, it wasn't the computer. I thought it was the wiring, it wasn't the wiring.
Yeah.
So I ended up changing out basically the transfer case for the X-Drive, and that ended up fixing everything.
Okay.
But there have been times where just small electrical issues will pop up here and there.
Right.
And it's just, I guess, a glitch in the computer. Because
Okay.
I'll restart the car, everything will be just fine. I would say probably another issue that I had was, I guess whoever changed the transfer case, they messed up my transmission pretty badly.
Really?
Yeah, they, for a while I was driving with no oil in there, and I had no idea.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was dumbfounded when I went to go change the oil pan, thinking that there was a crack and I was leaking underneath. I did everything, and I went to go fill up, only to realize that whoever put oil in there last didn't even put the plug back on.
Oh my God.
So oil was just slowly leaking out of there over time, and
Right.
the transmission was going bad.
That's crazy.
I do have a plan in the future to change the automatic transmission to a manual,
Okay.
just because definitely they only made about 500 manual.
Really?
So finding one is going to be next to impossible at this point.
Right.
It's easier to just convert it to manual than to find somebody who has manual willing to sell their unicorn.
Exactly. The unicorn. How long have you been working on these projects?
Bought the car back in June 18, 2019.
So roughly about 3 years.
About 3 years, and it's been, I would say, I haven't had the car fully in my possession for about, I would say, a combination of like close to a year. 3 months, 3, 4, 5 months doing motors.
Have a good night. Have a good one.
Different shops to get.
Is this yours?
So is this your daily driver?
This is my daily driver. This gets me from A to B, work, out and play, just pretty much anything that'll, anywhere I gotta go, this will get me there. If it's running right, it's...
This is the one. This
is the one.
The mode of transportation, right? Any other plans for the car? You mentioned a few, but
Yeah, I did. Like I said, the transmission is definitely one of them. I would love to get back into a stick car. So far, every car that I've owned has always been stick.
okay.
This is the first one that I've owned that isn't stick.
Right.
So I want to go back to my
Shifting.
original. Yeah.
Missed that shifting. Definitely.
I mean, I definitely don't mind it when there's city traffic, especially here
Right.
or in the city or in like upstate New York. There's sometimes like a little bit of a slowdown,
Okay.
but nothing beats feeling the car every time you change gears and actually hammer down the pedal and feel the
Yes.
power.
Definitely.
The next thing I have planned is the rear bumper. I'm actually getting shipped from Europe. It's just taking a while.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the M5. The European models actually have an M5 version of this car,
Okay.
but in America we're not cool enough, so we don't get to get all the cool stuff that Europe
Right.
has.
Right.
So it's going to be an M5 rear bumper. It's going to look a lot different than this.
Okay.
The front bumper also, because it got hit, that's being replaced, but it's not being replaced with the original bumper that I have on now. It's actually going to look like the newer generation M4s.
Nice.
So it's definitely going to be out of this world. Definitely a different type of vibe for this car.
Jeez, I can't wait.
I honestly think it looks way more aggressive than the M5 bumper, so
Okay.
I can't wait to put that on and get it going.
When you do those little upgrades, please make sure you stay in contact so
Absolutely.
we can get you on again.
Yeah, man, I'm a sucker for detail, especially with these taillights too. Taillights, they're also tinted but with a hexagon film.
A hexagon.
Yeah.
It almost gives that carbon fiber type of vibe.
Yeah, a
to it.
little bit.
Definitely.
The guy that the guy that wrapped my tints is the same guy that wrapped the car.
Okay.
Does amazing work every single time, and I don't think I'll be going to anybody aside from that.
Speaking of that, is there any social media or anybody you want to shout out before we wrap it up?
Absolutely. I got my girl. She's always helping me with everything. She's another one that has an irregular car.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. She's
Okay.
got a 228 wrapped in
Yeah.
pink. She's when we started dating, we were always like doing the same things together every single time. We would go to shows together. We would just cruise around. Like whenever we go out for like a day, like just going down to like maybe Atlantic City or like driving to the city, she's usually the car right behind me.
Okay.
So we always travel in style. We always travel together. And
Nice.
it's always fun to have a partner to go through with it every step of the way. Whether it's downsides or upsides, just so much fun.
Somebody did with you.
Absolutely.
For the ride. Literally for the ride. That's cool, man. That's cool.
I would say also at NJ Vinyl Co. He's definitely a big part of the way the car looks right now.
Okay.
He even helps me get ideas just by watching him do different types of cars and different styles that he's done.
Yeah.
Gives me ideas on like what I want to do next.
For sure.
At Speed Gravity, I would say.
At Speed Gravity, okay.
That's my team. That's who we roll with.
Nice.
I haven't even been able to get out to any shows recently, only because like the transmission was the problem, or the drivetrain, or something was going on with the car. But I mean, now everything should be getting back to shape, and I should be able to start seeing more of them soon.
Nice. Nice. He's gonna link up with y'all soon. So when y'all watch this video, just know he's on the way.
Absolutely, guys.
Well, guys, that brings us to the end of this episode. I hope y'all loved it. Listen, don't forget, y'all have to subscribe to the channel, Regular Guyz.Eregular Cars, and make sure you follow on Instagram, Regular Guyz.Eregular Cars. Love y'all. Peace.